What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gamescast now, episode 97, topic 2. I'm Alex. This is our conversational gaming show, a show that airs every other week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. The days of this week are a little bit off in terms of when these videos are coming up, but in this video, I want to talk about the Ghost of Tsushima rumors. Now, this is pretty old at the time that I'm even recording this, and by the time you guys are seeing it, but I do just want to talk a little bit about it. I've made a lot of Ghost of Tsushima videos in the past, and a lot of you guys really have enjoyed them, so I wanted to jump back into this game and talk about it. The rumors that this is a PS5 game, pretty much, that this game has been, doing pretty well, has been being worked on and is making great strides inside of Sucker Punch, but at the same time is also, and this is just the rumor. This rumor came out with the whole Last of Us Part 2 thing, that Sony would have a state of play November 1st. They would announce the Last of Us Part 2's release date. Ghost of Tsushima would not be there, and that is because they'll talk about it in 2020. Now, I mainly want to focus, and again, like, you could debate whether or not this is true, obviously, because we just got the Last of Us Part 2, the whole media presentation a couple days ago, but, I do believe, especially the Ghost of Tsushima thing, it makes a lot of sense. It does make sense that, this game from just from a while ago, even last year back at E3 when this game was shown, I remember, and a lot of people really, really liked it, and that's awesome, and I really liked it as well. But one of the things that stood out to me is that the game totally did not look ready. Okay, and I mean, obviously that's pretty obvious, just based off of everything. But when they showed that game at E3, to me, the game, it had a lot, and I do mean a lot of work to be done. Back when they got Death Stranding, or back when they got Hideo Kojima, Ghost of Tsushima, out of Last of Us Part 2 and Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima has always kind of been that game that I think most people think is always the farthest from coming out. And again, to be honest, last year kind of solidified that this game totally looks like it's the furthest out. And so, again, like, I do believe, and based off of that, I do believe this rumor that this game, and again, the rumor is that the game has been making great progress, but the game is not, is not ready, obviously, and the game has been internally delayed and will be out more around the PS5. And now, the question is this a PS5 game? And we've talked a lot about basically how the whole next generation thing is going to work. We talked about it quite a bit on the channel over the past couple months. And I've talked about games getting Game of the Year editions and kind of like those remasters for next gen. And I totally see that happening with a lot of the games that release in 2020. But, the first half, let's say, I see a lot of those games probably getting, Game of the Year editions for the next generation of consoles. We know Dying Light 2, which I made a video on that. Dying Light 2 talked about how they're going to have something. They're going to, they're going to bring their game to next generation of consoles. And they're the first gaming developer and the first game that's really talked about it like that. Which I found was pretty interesting. I think you're going to see that a lot. But another thing that I've always talked about is how are they going to handle those first couple months of the next generation of consoles. And obviously, when it comes to next gen, you need your next gen exclusives. You need the games that are specifically on next gen. But at the same time, because of the whole backwards compatibility thing, and because this is PlayStation we're talking about, because it's Ghost of Tsushima, we're talking about the PS5 here, backwards compatible, all that stuff, how exactly is that going to work? Is Horizon Zero Dawn 2, a game that I've been saying for a long time, and it's in my own personal belief, it's yet to be confirmed or anything, but I believe Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to be a launch day exclusive. It's going to be for the PS5, and it'll come out the day that the PS5 launches. I think that would be a fantastic thing. I think you would then get a really big game, a AAA, exclusive game on your console day one. It's been enough time since Horizon Zero Dawn, so I personally just believe at the time that it comes out, the PS5 comes out, it'd be 3.5 years since Horizon Zero Dawn, the original, came out. So I think that makes a lot of sense, and I'm sure there'll be other exclusives. There was rumors of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2, so I'm sure we're gonna have stuff. But like when it comes to Ghost of Tsushima, how exactly is it gonna work? Is it going to be like you can go into your GameStop, you can go into your Best Buy, you can go into your Walmart, and on the shelves, you're going to be able to get Ghost of Tsushima with the PS4 box, box cover, box art, or you can, and then right next to it is PS5. And the question is, like, is there any difference? Because, Well, I mean, technically there would be, right? Because if you play the PS4 version on the PS5, it's up-resed a little bit, but not, massively. If you bought the PS5 one, then that would be, kind of made for. But at the same time, if this game, and I've said it before with other games, such as the Warner Bros. Montreal, the rumored Batman Arkham game, it's, saying it out loud sounds so easy, but realistically, it's not like they can just turn a current gen game into an next gen game, or at least that's my personal belief. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if there could be a PS4 version of Ghost of Tsushima and then also a PS5 version. Does that even make sense? Does that even work? If it was developed for current gen, for the most part, and it just so happens to kind of release around PS5 time, does that necessarily mean it has to be a PS5 game? So that's the question. And honestly, that's the question with a lot of games in 2020. That's the situation with a lot of the games that are going to release in the fall of 2020. And it's going to be one of the more interesting things. It's really the first time we've ever had to have this discussion with PlayStation because, PS4 wasn't backwards compatible. Xbox One was, so you could look at that maybe as a little bit of a case study. But for the PS4, we really didn't have to worry about that. You bought, your PS3 games just would not work on PS4. When PS4 came out, Killzone Shadowfall was out. I bought that game a week before the PS4 came out. Because remember, some of the games released early, so you could buy it and then just wait. So that's what I did. So this is really the first time. So, like, even for Killzone, let's say, if Killzone was a PS3 and PS4 game, how would that have worked if PS4 was backwards compatible? It's really interesting, I guess. But that's like the biggest mystery to me. I guess the question of this video, though, because that's going a little too far, is do I believe that? I do believe this game has been delayed internally. I believe this game has been delayed internally a bunch of times. It really should not have taken this long. I have said in past videos I think they were working on a game before this, and I know I've also seen comments that have said that they've said in interviews that they immediately went from Second Son to Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, I'm hesitant to believe developers on everything they say. I don't want to believe that because I don't know why it would have taken so long between Second Son and Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know why it would have taken that long. I think they were working on other projects that prototype wise that just weren't being weren't kind of up to their par that they had to scrap. I think that was what was happening. But at the end of the day, I do believe this game has been delayed. The question is, if it comes out, say September, October, or let's say October, and say the PS5 comes out late October, early November, what happens? Is it only going to be on PS4? Can I only get the PS4 version and I'll have to play it backwards compatible? It's tough because also you have to look at it that, for next generation, you don't know how many people are going to buy it day one, week one, month one. If Ghost of Tsushima came out on PS4, it would be out to 100+ million PS4 owners. If it came out for only PS5, it would be out for, say, 10, 20 million, right? If it sells that much right off the bat. So I think at the very least, it kind of does need to be out on PS4 because you don't want to really hurt. Then you could say, well, why would Horizon then come out just on PS5? I think you have to choose your battle. I think a developer like Sucker Punch needs a boost, needs like a pick-me-up, and Ghost of Tsushima needs to do well. That game needs to sell well to just kind of, I think, boost the minds and the people that are working at Sucker Punch because I feel like they've been in a rut recently, and they need that game to do good. At the same time, you do need exclusive PS5 things, so maybe that is a candidate. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is a candidate, even if that game maybe wouldn't sell as much. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn 2 wouldn't even sell as much as the first game because it's going out to less people. That's possible, but you just need next generation games. At the end of the day, that's what you absolutely need. So I do believe these rumors. At the same time, I just don't know how it would work. I don't know how a PS5 version of Ghost of Tsushima would work, just like I really don't know how a lot of those kind of situations and every game with every developer, honestly, has a slightly different situation. It all depends on when the game comes out. It depends on the actual situation of popularity and what, if it's a third-party game, whatever. Every game, I think, has a situation that's very, very different from each other, which makes it really, really interesting to talk about you really have this talk with any game, but at the same time, it just makes it really, really difficult to actually envision what's going to happen. I'm sure we'll figure it out more and more as we get closer, but those are the opinions for now. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think Ghost of Tsushima is going to be a PS5 game? Do you think it'll be kind of that dual launch where it's PS4 and PS5? Let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel podcast now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And again, these Gamescast topics air 3 times every other week, and we will see you guys for topic 3.